What's going on, guys? So before we actually get started with the video, I just want to go ahead and say that I do have a Support-A-Creator Code that you all can use if you just want to help a brother out, help me pay a little bit of bills here and there, help me, not starve and all that. Or if my videos have just ever helped you guys out in the past, you can go over to the item shop, press Support-A-Creator down in the bottom right, and then enter in my code. My code will be on the screen now. It is spelled myfii. Go ahead and press accept. You will see a green check mark pop up, and then in the top right it should look like this. And with that out of the way, thank you guys for the support, and let's get right into the video. Alright, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So this video is an extremely different video than anything that I have ever made on the channel before. This is going to be an unboxing and my initial review slash thoughts of the brand new Scuff Prestige for Xbox One. And I just want to go ahead and get this out of the way and say that I am not sponsored, nor is this video sponsored or any sort of affiliation or connections with Scuf Gaming. I simply have been using their controllers for about 4+ years now, and I decided to go ahead and pick this one up because this is the first Scuf for Xbox One that they have actually made, I believe, in 2 years. So yeah, I paid for this with my own money. I waited the full 30+ days to actually get it from pre-order. No special connections or special treatment. I didn't get it quick or anything like that. I was pretty much just a normal customer, just buying it as if you guys were going to buy it. So I'm going to give you guys my full opinion on pretty much everything that went down and my initial thoughts on the controller in general. There will be timestamps right now of the review, and the unboxing portion will start right after I get done with kind of like this intro. And also, I know that this video will reach a large audience of people that may not have heard of me. Pretty much, if you guys are interested in anything on the channel, I post Fortnite, just tips, tricks, tutorials, leaks, glitches, news, pretty much all that stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, feel free to subscribe. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started with the unboxing. So going ahead and getting into the unboxing portion of it, you can see here the box is very professional looking, but I mean, you guys are probably interested of actually what's inside, but I am going to do a quick overview of everything that's actually in the box. And this is the first time you all have seen me, so hello, I guess, or hello, I really don't know how to do that. But kind of getting into the box itself, we're going to go around the box and see what is actually on it. Now, I am doing this with one hand, so I don't know if focusing may take a minute. So what's in the box? You can see there is a controller, there is the wire, you get your like hair trigger tension key, you get 2 scuff sticks, which we will get into that in a minute because I do have a tip for you guys need to do before actually ordering one of these. You have your EMR or your electromagnetic remapping key, and then you have like your little manual, the features, paddle control system, and you guys can pretty much read all of that. I'll try to make sure it focuses in on it. But yeah, I think I already said this, but I am trying to record this with one hand, so it may be a little bit difficult. So the actual Scuff itself, you can kind of like read through here. I'll try to make sure it's focused in on everything. It's pretty much just the box. Sides aren't really anything too important. Scuff Gaming on the top. Not actually going ahead and cracking this bad boy open, just going to go ahead and just pull it out of its sleeve and set the sleeve off to the side. Like I said, sorry for, I couldn't really find a way to hold this camera up, but getting that off to the side, we actually now have the box itself. It's a very nice looking box. It's like matte black, and it has like that nice little Scuff logo. There's nothing else actually on the box like at all. So we actually got to go ahead and get this bad boy open. You kind of just pull it up, and oh yeah, there's the Scuff itself. I actually have already used this, but that's just because I actually wanted to get a feel for it and see how I like it. You guys can see that I kind of went all like blacked out. So let's set the box off to the side for a second. The Scuff itself, you can kind of see it, all 4 paddles. I had it like blacked out. I will get into like a kind of like a little review in here in a second, but we're just going to set this off to the side real quick while we actually grab the rest of the box and see what's in it. So you'd probably think that this is everything, but I mean, of course it's not. So this is kind of like one of the weirdest parts. I've never seen a Scuff box have something like this where you have to like pry the thing open, and just because I'm doing it with one hand doesn't mean this is like, because I'm doing it with one hand it's this hard. No, it was this hard whenever I was doing it with both hands. Set that off to the side, and we actually have more accessories in the bottom. And like I said, I have already opened this, but I try to put everything back in as nice a packaging as I could. So you can kind of see, if I can get this open right here with one hand, you can kind of see you get a cable inside of it. And this cable will come a whole lot nicer than what this one is. It'll come with, where is it at? With this little thingy right here, like nicely wrapped around, and it's nicely wrapped up. And this is like threaded or whatever it's called. I think it's called threaded. So it doesn't really tangle. As you can see, it kind of is tangled right here, but if you just let it fall, it kind of just falls out. And this is what plugs into your controller to charge it. Or if you're a little bit more competitive, a lot of people will strictly use this for really low latency in the back of the controller. I believe it's a micro USB, and it goes into a full on, I think that's pretty much just the USB portion of it. So we're gonna go ahead and set that off to the side with the controller, try to get it out of the picture, and then get on to the rest of the components. Now, what comes inside is the manual. We really don't care about the manual. I'm not actually even going to get into the manual because the manual does not matter. It's a controller. We all pretty much know how to use a controller. And I'm going to be showing you guys all the basics that you all are going to need to know actually how to use this controller in just a second. But this right here is your EMR key, this thing right here. Hair trigger, tension, little adjustable key right there, and EMR right there. So we can go ahead and set that off to the side. And then getting into the final things, and this is a big thing I want to go ahead and tell you guys before you guys order a Scuf, because I did a lot of digging and I actually contacted Scuf themselves and asked them about how this was going to work. But these are your two little thumbsticks. And one thing I will go ahead and say, so we'll go ahead and get the Scuf back actually into the frame here. You can see that I went with normal Xbox sticks, but I'm not going to use them. And you may be thinking, well, why did you get them then? And that's because if you do not get the normal Xbox sticks, so these right here, these sticks, I think this is like a long domed, and this is a short or medium. I think it's a short. They are Scuf branded, kind of like right there. You can kind of see that they're both Scuf branded. These come with a controller regardless of what thumbsticks you get over here. And the reason I went with the normal Scuf sticks is because every now and then, or I used to use Control Freaks. So I may actually throw Control Freaks on every now and then, and Control Freaks actually do not fit on these. I've tried. They kind of look the same, but you can definitely tell they are not the same. I'm pretty sure it's because of like the rounding of the normal stick. So if you actually get, like, say you get Scuf sticks automatically on here, then you will not get normal Xbox sticks, or at least that's what the representative told me back whenever I pre-ordered this thing. But that's what the representative told me. They said that if you get these, then they'll come with them. But if you don't get the regular Xbox sticks, then it will not come with them at all. So make sure you get the Scuf with the regular Xbox thumbsticks. It doesn't cost any extra money, at least I don't believe. And then you will get these bad boys, which I'll actually be using, included, like automatically. It doesn't matter which sticks you get, you will always get these exact sticks. It was on the sleeve of the box. So yeah, I'm actually going to show you guys how I actually swap these out. So first off, we're going to go ahead and remove the actual faceplate. The faceplate is magnetic. I don't think it's all the way metal. It could be. I went with the black faceplate. Right now we are going to go ahead and take the faceplate off, and how you actually do that is that you flip it to the side with the B on it. And you can see right there, there's a little indentation. You see it right there next to my finger. You're gonna slide your nail under there. Now I cannot do this with one hand. And then you're going to just simply pull and it's gonna pop open. If you feel it's taking a lot of force, maybe readjust your hand. You do not wanna break these. So once you have the faceplate kind of peeled, you'll see it'll come off in this section first. And then from there, you kind of just pull it all around and then it'll eventually pop right off. And as you can see here, here's your anti-friction rings. In order to remove those, which they actually don't come with replacement ones, which I don't really understand. I know the Vantage does, but these don't. What's actually going to happen is that you're going to like take your fingernail and push through those, and that's going to remove like your anti-friction rings. But I got mine black just to kind of match the controller. We're going to set this down right here. And here's the actual internals of the controller. Now the only thing you can actually customize here is the thumbsticks. So in order to remove the thumbsticks, you just simply pull it out and it's just going to pop right off. As you can see, there is kind of a certain way you need to put it in. So we're actually going to go ahead and take these off real quick. And they're now off. Now it actually exposes the actual components of the Scuf itself, or the Scuf thumbsticks. So now what I'm going to do, and what I actually have been playing with, is these. Now these things can be hard to put on at first, and I really thought I was going to break it. Hopefully I don't break it now, but like I said, you're pretty much just going to line up those little like oval things with these, or you can pretty much just use the Scuf indicator to see which side is right, and you're pretty much just going to hold it until you feel it click. So yeah, it actually took 2 hands to put on. You're gonna need to put 1 thumb on each side, kind of push down until you feel it click. Now these things are really tough when you first put them on, so just keep that in mind. And now we're gonna go ahead and put the domed one on as well. If I remember correctly, the dome one was really easy to slide on for some reason, but I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera down. And you just simply just pop it on with the Scuff little logo facing in the bottom left, just like this one. Give me just a second. And there we go. Both the sticks are replaced. They will be kind of stiff at first. For some reason, my domed one is never really stiff. It feels just nice. This one is super stiff though. Not really too sure why. Make sure you hold on to these. You will need them, so go ahead and just put them back in the bag that it came with. And you should not lose them as long as you don't lose the bag. And then in order to get the faceplate back on, what I've noticed is that if you start from the left, you kind of get it over there, and you really just kind of try to get that left clicked in, because I believe on the left there's a click, or there's like a kind of like a little locking mechanism. And you just simply push down, and you'll know once you hear like a bigger click. So you should hear 2 clicks, one on the left side, one on the right side. And then there you go. Your Scuff is now changed the sticks of them. So let's go ahead and move on to the rest of the controller. So kind of flipping it around to the main parts. The big reason why you buy a Scuff is for the paddles. So these paddles look a little bit different than other paddles, and that is a good thing. These are really, I guess the word is ergonomic, or they're pretty much just more easy to use in your hands. The curvature really fits whenever you actually like wrap your hands around the controller itself. I'll show you here in a second. So this is how I play, like this, and as you can see, my finger just calmly rests right there, so I can easily use the paddle. Super easy. Now actually getting onto the paddles themselves, you can see kind of next to the paddles there's these little switches. I actually haven't currently turned on, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn them off. Make sure you fully turn them off, because there are 3 settings. If they're fully this way, the trigger will go down all the way without any hesitation. And if you fully switch it, this is, as you can see, this is as far down as it goes. So this is off, and then this is on. And that's pretty much how you do it, and it's on both sides of the controller. And these little things, if you remember me saying, the little hair trigger key will actually tune how far you want these to go down. So say this is on, and say it's still going down too far, which honestly that's like clearly nothing. You can actually tighten it up even more. You just put the little key in there. It's actually right here. I'll show you guys. This little key, the little metal part, you just put it right in that hole right there. And I believe you turn it clockwise to tighten, counterclockwise to loosen. Now getting on to the actual grips. The grips are military grade grips. They feel nice. Honestly, these are probably the grippiest, I guess, grips I've ever felt on a controller. Now this part right here you can see is normally where the batteries would go. There actually is no batteries. That's because there is a lithium-ion battery in here. I know there is no other Xbox that does that is actually released. I know a lot of you will probably say, well, the Scuff or the Elite 2 will have that, but it is not released yet. I believe it releases in October or November. So this currently is the only like officially branded Xbox controller on the market that has a lithium-ion battery in it that doesn't take batteries. Thank God, I'm tired of using batteries. And because of that, and because I don't have rumbles in this controller, this thing is extremely light. Like, I used to use a controller where I actually didn't even have the batteries in it. I would just plug it in and then it would still work without batteries, and it was super light. And this one is probably half the weight of that. This thing is extremely light, extremely comfortable to hold. But yeah, now getting on to this little Scuff icon. You see that Scuff icon right there? Now, I mean, of course it probably is for design, but it also does something else. This key right here, what this does is that you simply turn it over so the Scuff logo is on this side, and you simply just attach it right here. So once you go ahead and kind of attach it, it has like a little magnetic thing in it that immediately enables magnetic remapping. So what you do from here is that if you want to remap any of these paddles, I believe it goes from left to right. So it goes P1, P2, P3, and P4. What you actually do to remap, once this key is on and it looks just like this, you're simply just going to hold down the paddle you want to remap, right? Once you have done that, still holding the paddle, you will then flip it over. As you can hear, the actual thing actually fell off. But once you actually flip it over, you then continue to hold the paddle, and then you just simply press the button that you want to remap it to. And then once you do that, then you release the button so the front button that you're using, and then you release the paddle. And then you actually have to take the EMR key off. As you can see, it already fell off. You actually have to take that key off to even use the paddles, because once it enters that mode, then it actually disables all the paddles, so you actually can't use them. But once you pop the key off, then the paddle will be remapped and it'll stay like that. So yeah, that's actually how you go ahead and remap the paddles. It's super simple and super easy. The only other thing I think I'm forgetting to do is actually show you guys how to remove the paddle. So this right here is the paddle that I actually remove, P3. So what you do is you simply take it, and you should do this with 2 hands. So you take your hand, right, and you grab it like right here. And then once you do that, then you kind of hold the top of the controller and you push. Okay, so there we go. The paddle actually is fully out. And then you just simply lift it up and the paddle is off. So that's pretty much the full unboxing of the controller itself. Now we will go ahead and switch on over to my little review of it and what I think so far. So now getting into the review section, or what I like and what I don't like about the controller. But before I actually say that, I just wanted to go ahead and say one other thing. Like I said, this video is not sponsored, but the big thing I wanted to also add in is that I actually play on Xbox. I have watched probably 5 or 6 reviews, and everyone that has reviewed it doesn't even play on Xbox. They mainly play on PlayStation. Like, I'm pretty sure one review and unboxing that I actually watched, the dude didn't even own an Xbox. So what I'm about to tell you about what I like and what I don't like about it is actually 100% genuine. Like I said, I'm not sponsored, no affiliation. You know, Scuff, if you're watching this, you want to hit your boy up. But no, this is my 100% like honest review of it. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and actually start with what I like about the controller. Pretty much the entire controller I love. It feels phenomenal. It is stupid light. I think this is the lightest controller they said for an Xbox ever. Like, whenever I'm playing, like last night I was playing for like 4 or 5 hours, and I didn't even feel like I was holding a controller. Like, it feels like a feather, especially if you get those rumbles removed, which I did because I'm trying to be as competitive as possible. The battery is what I guess we can thank for that lightness. There is no more battery door. There is no AA batteries. This is a lithium ion battery. If I believe correctly, it is 30 plus hours, or around 30 hours on a single charge. I mean, even though I do play wired just for that lower latency, the whole, you can go wireless for 30 plus hours feels great. And just the fact that because of them doing this, it made the controller even lighter. Like, how did Microsoft not think of this? Like, Scuf is just really out here looking out for us. Like, they finally gave Xbox what people had been making fun of Xbox for. They finally gave us a controller without batteries, and it's so nice. So the fact that you can just plug it in, charge it, take it off if you want to, or you can just leave it in and just leave it plugged in for that really low latency. Next up is the actual back paddles. The back paddles are really nice. You guys probably saw in the unboxing, I was trying to get one off, and they're super durable. They will not come off, but if they do break, then instead of having to replace the entire controller, you can just replace the paddle. Super nice, super easy. Paddles feel great. They're super clicky. Getting on to the trigger stops. The trigger stops are really nice. Actually, I tightened it a little bit too tight while ago, and I actually couldn't even press the trigger itself, so I had to untighten it. But it's super easy. Clockwise to tighten, counterclockwise to loosen. And these things can get really these things can get like pinpoint. It feels like you're almost clicking a button instead of pulling the trigger itself. So the trigger stops are phenomenal. The trigger stops themselves feel really good. And just the controller overall just has like this nice feeling of like, not paint, but kind of like just the texture of the controller feels really nice. And like the grips and everything like that feel amazing as well. I don't know if I've already mentioned the grips, but the grips feel great as well. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I like about the controller. Pretty much what Scuf said the controller did, or does, it does do. The controller feels amazing. It's super light. Everything works on it. The EMR, electromagnetic remapping, works on it great. I had no problems with that. I literally just slapped it on there. And this is my first time using like an EMR to actually remap paddles. Beforehand, I'd always just had the paddles automatically set and I never changed them. But as a first time, I didn't even read any instructions or anything like that. I knew how to remap the paddles instantly. And the whole flip switch for the hair triggers is nice as well. I think I already mentioned that, but you can flip it between 3 different profiles. I think I mentioned that during the unboxing, but and that's pretty much everything that I like about it. Now we're going to quickly go over what I don't like about it, because there's only like 1 or 2 things. Actually, I think it's only 1 thing, is the customization of color, or yeah, pretty much just the customization of color. On the original Xbox One Scuffs, like the very first ones, you could actually change the Xbox profile button to like a Scuff logo, and it was super clean. I loved it. And actually, I will throw a picture up on the screen now. If you actually go to the Scuff website and like make a Scuff and then put it in your cart, it will actually go over like what you've changed about the Scuff and like how you've customized it. And there is like an entire list of stuff that it doesn't even give you to customize, but it's on there, and next to it just says default. Like I said, there will be like a picture on the screen now of what I mean. Like one of them said like Xbox home button default, trim kit default. And I was like, why don't they let us change that? Maybe it's because they're like associated with Microsoft. So maybe Microsoft requires them to leave the Xbox button on there now, or I'm not too sure. I also don't know why they didn't give us an option to change the trim color. The trim on mine, even though it looks black, it is slightly gray. I think it's meant to match like the original colored faceplate, as mine is black and the original one is kind of like a dark gray. It starts with a T. I can't remember it off the top of my tongue. But yeah, if I could just change the trim color, the Xbox button, maybe change the Xbox LED, because you could do that in the old ones. Like it didn't just have to be straight white. You could actually change the color like red, orange, or pretty much whatever you wanted. And then the buttons themselves, like the actual buttons on the front, even though they are blacked out, you can actually still see the button. So Y, B, A, and X. And I don't know how I like that yet, because I'm used to having them completely just blacked out to where you can't see them whatsoever. Like they were just matte black. And also the select and pause button, I don't know if that's what they're still called, but that's what I'm still calling them. Those, I wish I could like kind of matte black those out as well. And then maybe if I could change the actual like grip color, that'd be nice too. But yeah, and then the sticks, whenever I tried to actually put in the new Scuff sticks, I actually had to really move them like really hard before I started playing, because they kept getting stuck like down at the bottom or up at the top. Like they would just get stuck, and then my character would just constantly run forward. But once I realized that, I pretty much just like moved them back and forth really quickly for about a minute, and then they loosened right up, and I guess they just had to be broken in or something. But besides that, honestly, no, there's nothing else. This Scuff is phenomenal. I love it. Like it feels great. It's really going to help with gameplay. The fact that I have 3 paddles now instead of 2, and the fact that you can take off paddles and remap paddles, and it's just pretty fully customizable whenever you get it in your hands, and it's customizable on the fly. So yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions, concerns, or anything like that in the comment section below. Like I said at the beginning in the intro, and I will definitely tell you guys if you guys want very specific details on the controller before you guys actually go out and spend your own money. Let me know, and I will definitely answer them for you guys to the best of my ability. And yeah, with that out of the way, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Sorry if it was a little bit long-winded. I'll try to cut it down as much as possible. But yeah, with that out of the way, hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. If it did, make sure you guys do drop a like on it. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.